So there have been leaks. Model S leaks. We've seen the inside of the Model S.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It's like a new UI or something.
Yeah, so first of all, if you're used to Model S's, this is going to be quite a shock because the screen is now horizontal. We knew that this was going to happen. But let's just talk about some of the changes, even in comparison to, say, like the Model 3.
Yeah.
So this is the 17-inch screen, and here's the cool part. It pivots from side to side.
It pivots.
So this means that a passenger could actually pivot the screen towards them, look up, do whatever they wanted to do on the screen without having to like lean over, getting into the driver's way or anything like that.
And because the driver has a binnacle, it really doesn't bother the driver. It's not like, wait, I need that for directions.
Right. I think that this is a really cool feature. When we first saw the Model 3 with the big iPad on it, everyone was like, does it move? Can I point it and tilt it? And you couldn't. And it was like, oh. But now you can with the Model S. The next thing is there's no stocks. We've talked about this before. The stocks, of course, like your windshield wipers and your drive and your reverse.
It's a lot to get used to.
Your Prindle.
Prindle. So remind me how you put it in drive again?
So the car can do it automatically. We're going to talk about this in a minute. But if you want to change the direction that you're driving, there's only forward and reverse.
Right. It doesn't go sideways yet.
You swipe up on the car that's closest to the driver, or you swipe down.
Now, I know this is a funny thing, but I'm just worried that like kids will like swipe the screen because kids swipe all the time. But I know kids can play with the stock too, so I don't know why I'm worried about this. And
unlike a normal car where if you like put the car in reverse while you're going down the highway at 60 miles an hour, the transmission will just jump out of the car and wish you farewell. The Tesla doesn't do that. It's like if you try and switch to reverse when you're driving at any speed above like 3-ish miles an hour, the car is just going to beep at you and say like, you tried to switch into reverse. If you want to switch into reverse, you better slow down because I'm not going to switch into reverse at whatever speed you're going now.
But don't try that.
Sure. Don't. Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the UI.
User interface.
Yeah, this is the screen that we're talking about. So Model S owners are used to seeing their information in their car like this. But now they get to, watch YouTube videos on a nice big screen,
right?
Like the like the rest of us, like people who have Model 3s and Ys. But taking a look at the UI, it's completely different than it is for the 3 or the
So
Y.
this is version 11.
Yeah, and we're not exactly sure if this is the final version or if this is whose car this is or whatever.
Question: the map isn't there,
right? It's not the base layer of the interface, because normally with the Model 3 you have the map, it's always open.
The map
you can bring things on top of the map, but then when they go away you're left with the map again. Here it looks like this is like a main menu of the car and you get to select which things you want,
which might be indicative of the future, because in the future the car doesn't need to look at a map,
or the car doesn't need to show you the map.
Right.
It'll know where the map is. It knows where it's going because it'll be driving itself.
Right.
You won't need to know like, oh, do I need to turn left or right? You're going to be busy watching a movie.
Yeah, I feel like this is showing us what's going to be happening in the future where we don't need to be looking at maps anymore.
Right.
Can you imagine that, by the way? We've gone from humans who had maps in front of them all the time, big paper maps, to then having little 3-inch screens that we looked at all the time for Garmin.
Yeah. And then our phones.
And then our phones. Then we went to 15 and 17-inch screens, and now we're going to go to no maps at all.
Yeah. I think it's
the human evolution of maps.
It's a very interesting evolution. So another little thing while we're still looking at the screen, see in the audio in the bottom right-hand corner, that little rectangle, I think that's the phone icon. I think that you can change the thing without having to like open up any other menus just by clicking that button. I don't know. I'm always annoyed when I want to switch from my phone back to Spotify in my car, and I have to swipe up and then. So I think that button will take care of that.
Okay.
So then this looks like the quick menu.
Oh.
So you can access all the little things in your car nice and quickly. It's also how you put the car in neutral.
Oh, interesting. I'm sorry, but what's that little bell icon for?
I'm guessing it's phone notifications because, in this screen, the phone is connected to the car through Bluetooth.
So if you're getting a text or something?
Because, I have on occasion been driving along and been getting like texts from people, and it's like, shut up. I don't want to, shut up. I don't care. And you can't like mute your phone. You'll still get the notification through your car.
Right.
So maybe they have a phone notification option, which is neat. So then there's the controls page. I think that if you hit that blue Model S, it'll be whatever color your car is, obviously. In the bottom left-hand corner of the quick menu, it'll bring you to the broader menu. And this looks almost exactly like a Model 3 menu. In terms of the things on the left-hand side of the screen, those are all things that you'll see in like a Model 3 or Y.
What's drag strip mode?
That is definitely some kind of a launch mode. And then it has like a teach you how to launch kind of thing. A lot of people don't realize like what launch mode is, and you don't really need it that much with a Tesla, especially a Model S. But what it does is it like gets the car ready to launch.
Right, like preheats the battery.
Preheats the battery. You know, it might even like pre-torque certain components, so that way when you like hit the pedal, I think it maybe even takes into consideration the time it takes for your foot to fully depress the pedal. It instead will say as soon as you start to hit the pedal, it'll just punch it.
Wow.
So like all these little things to make sure.
So don't put that into launch mode in the parking lot.
No, unless you know what you're doing.
What's Smart Shift?
Smart Shift, I think, is what Elon had been talking about, that the car is going to automatically know the direction you want to.
So you're not going to have to be hitting swipe up, swipe down to go drive in reverse. It's pretty much going to know, like, I'm in a parking space and there's nothing I can do going forward, so I'm going to go in reverse?
Supposedly.
All right.
I don't know. I mean, this is a big question. Like, this is a big risk that I feel like Tesla totally didn't need to take. Like, when I get in the car and I sit down and I'm, like, ready to go, I don't think flicking the stock to me is, like, I'm never like, press the stock. I'm just annoyed when I have to swipe up the
I'm always amazed,
screen.
though, by the number of things that once we get them, we're like, how do we live without them? So maybe this will be one of them.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, lastly, what's media on drive?
This one is interesting. It says automatically open media player on drive.
Oh, so I get into the car, I go for my drive, and I don't have to now fumble with the screen to get my Spotify or my audiobook going.
I guess. I don't know what they mean by media. Do they just mean audio, or do they also mean
video?
Because that would be, I'm sure some agency would have some questions about that. And then why, when you put the car in drive, does it open media player? I mean, I'm glad that it's an option, but like, what does this mean? Does it mean that like it's not going to start playing music until you put the car in drive, and that's what this button is? Or does it mean that it's going to like open up media as soon as you start driving?
We're going to find out soon, because I'm sure there's going to be these refreshed S's on the road. Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching Now You Know Clips.
You can watch full episodes of Tesla Time News on Mondays and in-depths on Fridays. Just click the link down below to head over to the Now You Know channel.